Civil rights for the black community have come a long, long way. But there's another community who says that their fight for civil rights has just begun.
It is my great personal honor to present the 44th President of these United States, Barack Obama.
President Barack Obama's election has helped African Americans move one huge step closer to many of the goals of the civil rights movement of the 1960s. Millions of gay and lesbian Americans and their families have joined the fight for equal rights. Now, The Advocate, a leading gay magazine, is declaring that gay is the new black. But many people question if fighting for gay rights is the same as fighting for the rights of African Americans. The gay rights movement definitely has a long history, but it really started getting attention in 1969, when 2,000 gays and lesbians started rioting in New York City to protest violent police raids at the Stonewall Inn. Real progress came in 2004, when Massachusetts became the first state to make gay marriage legal. And California legalized gay marriage just last year. But then everything changed. In California, voters recently passed Proposition 8, making gay marriage illegal all over again. Some people say that's a sign that prejudice against gays and lesbians is even more rapidly spreading all over the country. I want you to check out my audience. My audience is literally wearing their sexuality on their sleeves or on their t-shirts. So we're the gays. We're the and we're the straights. We're the straights. All right. And do we have some in-betweens? Are these our in-betweens? Okay. All right. Later, you're going to meet people who are going to fiercely argue both sides of the gay rights debate. Recently, we met a bride 3 days before her wedding, and she was torn apart because her family would not accept or go to her wedding. And she was being married to another woman. You guys remember that show? Yeah. Okay, well, thousands of you wrote to the Tyra show about it, and check this out. The last time Juliana and Lindsay were on the Tyra show, they were fighting to get Juliana's family to accept their relationship and to attend their wedding.
Well, my mom and my stepdad aren't coming to the wedding. They believe that homosexuality is a sin. You know, a girl, when she gets married, wants to have her mother there. And I understand she has her beliefs, but why can't you just support me as your daughter and be there and support her wedding?
Juliana's mother, Leah, was torn between what her faith told her about homosexuality.
Man and woman were meant to become one flesh, not woman and woman.
And what her heart told her about being the mother to her daughter.
You want to be at your daughter's wedding and watching her walk down the aisle? It's wrong. It's wrong, Julie. You know that. I feel cheated.
I don't think you're a bad mom, but I think you could be a better mom. But I don't think you're a bad one.
But while Leah was wavering,
I'm torn.
Her husband, Michael, was not having it.
Based on my beliefs, I'm against it. And a lot of
You're
great
skirting the
things.
issues, Daddy. Do you want to come to the wedding or not?
I don't want to come.
On the day of the wedding, Leah and Michael decided they'd be there for Juliana and Lindsay. And Michael even videotaped the entire ceremony.
I'm happy to be married to my love of my life. I've never been so happy. I'm just excited. I've been waiting too long for this.
But later, they regretted going, and Michael has refused to even look at the wedding video he made.
I'm sad, but I want to support Juliana, and I want to let her know how much I care for her. But I don't know what else I could do.
All right, so you guys are back. Everybody's got new hair. Juliana's like more of a redhead. I've got my hair today. I didn't have it on the other day. But just to remind you, this is Juliana, and she was the one whose mom was very upset, but did go to the wedding. So she went to the wedding. How was she at the wedding?
It was hard. Like, I could tell that she was uncomfortable. She sat in the back row.
Back row? Mom was supposed to sit in that front row on the mom side.
Yeah.
Back row. So she
I
was
didn't even know,
uncomfortable.
like, I saw her when I was walking up the aisle, but I couldn't really find her because there was a lot of chaos at the end.
Yeah. And what about while you're saying the vows, while you're going through everything, are you thinking about what your mom is thinking? No?
No.
You weren't thinking about
I
it at all?
was thinking about her.
Oh, okay. You're thinking about
I mean,
her.
I knew that she was there, but I wasn't going to let the uncomfortableness take over me while I was
Yeah.
at the wedding because it was about her and me.
So I understand you guys did like the big step. Tell me about the name thing you did.
Oh, I changed my name to her last name.
Wow.
Right after we got married, we did
Is
it.
that common with marriages, same-sex marriages? Because I've never heard of that.
I was just hearing on TV, I was watching a news program, and they're saying that it was hard for people, but it was really easy for us. I mean, I went in, we got some looks, because she said, oh, you got married? You know, are you sure you want to do that? And she said, this is my wife. And I'm like, oh, okay. And, you know, a lot of people do the hyphenated thing, but
She changed it. How much contact have you had with your mom since the wedding day?
Very minimum. I haven't actually physically seen her since the wedding, but I've had only minimum conversation, and it's usually about subjects like my brother or sister, or nothing deep about us. Or I try to, but she kind of brushes me off.
See, I thought that like after you guys left, that it was going to be kind of like tied into a nice little bow, but be hard for her, but that she would be in you guys' life and stuff. Tell me about the holidays.
Well, on Thanksgiving, I spent it with her family for the last few years. But this time they had this show taped, and they were playing it like over and over again. And I was like telling her, "Can you please, like, because it's hard for me to watch it, and because I didn't want my mom like went to the wedding, yes, and I'm glad she did. But at the same time, I'm not, because I feel like she didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like she was doing it to please other people. You know, and I didn't want her to feel like that I was forcing her to do something she didn't want to do.
They still never even acknowledged me at the wedding.
Yeah,
not even once. Never even looked at me. They actually pulled her out of my arms as we were walking down the aisle.
Really?
But on the holidays,
Wait, slow down. At the wedding, you guys are finished, you're married, and you're walking back down the aisle.
As soon as we kissed and we're walking down the aisle, Michael grabbed Juliana and he said, you need to come over here. You stay over there.
Wow.
And had her take a picture with her mom. And people are saying, oh my God, that's so inappropriate. You know, you're walking down the aisle, and he pulled her.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the mom is here. Your mom is here, and we're going to talk to her. Whoa, I didn't know they pulled you.
Yeah.
That is no joke.
I don't think they wanted pictures with us both. They just wanted,
they didn't
like,
want a picture of me.
So.
Yeah. All right. Okay. This is not exactly what I thought this wedding was going to be. I thought it was going to be something totally different. When we come back, Juliana's mom is here. She's back. We'll be right back. You can't what, Mom? You can't go. Juliana and Lindsay were married just 5 months ago, despite strong objections from Juliana's mom, Leah, and Juliana's stepfather, Michael. Now, Leah and Michael are here. They came back, which I am like, oh my gosh, they're here. Mom and stepdad, come on out. So you went, which I was so proud when I found out that you went, but what was going through your mind when you were sitting there in that audience, in those chairs at the wedding?
It was very difficult. Yes, I was sitting in the last row, but that was because we were waiting for Lisa and her husband and the baby to arrive.
Who's Lisa, your
my
other
other
daughter
that was here last time. And
but once they arrived, you
once
didn't move
they
forward?
arrived, we finally moved in, and it was in the last row because it was taken up by the other guests.
Oh, excuses, Mama. You know you don't want to sit in that front row. Come on now. Come on now. A mom saying, oh, the front row was taken at my daughter's wedding, and so I had to sit in the back.
It wasn't filled up. That's not true.
No. How does it feel to see her now? Married. She's married now. Before she wasn't.
It's still hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's still hard. She's my daughter. She'll always be my daughter. I love her to death, but it's still hard.
Tell me about seeing them in the wedding dresses and doing the vows. What did that feel like?
when I saw her coming down the lawn, this should have been her walking down the aisle to marry her future husband. I still have to stand by the traditional, what traditional marriage really means. And so that was very difficult.
hard.
You know, she looked beautiful, yes, but I would want to have seen it in a different setting.
I think the wedding was beautiful. I mean, look at the surroundings and the fountains and the grass and all of that. That's like a pretty beautiful wedding. How was the reception?
I didn't go.
You didn't go to the reception?
No.
Why not?
Because I couldn't feel I could celebrate, and a reception is to celebrate. And Julie said that was okay with her. That
Julie
as long
said
as
it was
we were
okay.
at the wedding, to show our support, to show my love for her, that's why I went.
Well, how's your relationship with your daughter now?
Our communication is limited. Basically, you know, like a birthday or to ask her a question or, you know, to wish her Merry Christmas or something like
Well, that's
that.
it, but it's distant. I know one thing you
Yes.
said, Juliana, is, you know, you didn't necessarily like your mother's choice for a husband, but she dealt with it. So explain that to us.
Well, I was 15 at the time, and like, you know, my mom was dating, but I had never met him. And then he came to move in with us, and it was like she said he was going to be staying a couple days because he had something going on, and then that in 2 days I'm going to be 31 soon, so it's been a long time. And I was a teenager, and I was not, you know, ready for all that yet. And I mean, but it's my mom's choice, and I was very overprotective over her. I was kind of the man of the house after her divorce with my father, and I took care of her. And I'm the one that encouraged her to start dating, you know. And then I was having issues with him because he was coming in, trying to take over. And I guess that's my own personal issues. And I'm not saying that I was right or wrong because I was a teenager. Of course, when you're a teenager, you think you're always right, you know. And I thought that he was not the one for her.
Tell your mother why you haven't been really spending time with her and really visiting her. I know you've come to some resolution within yourself and your relationship.
I feel like I'm ready to shut the door on it. You know, I feel like I'm all cried out over this. I mean, I love her. She knows my phone number. She knows my address. You know, this is who I am. I'm not going to change. She's not going to. Lindsay's the most important thing to me, and she makes me who I am. You know, you did all that you did for me and raised me and made me who I am, and then now she makes me happy. She's the one I'm going to sleep with at night, every night, you know, not my parents. And so it's like, this is my decision to make, and, you know, if you don't support it, you don't support it. I'm moving on with my life. I'm happy, and I'm not going to change that.
You're at a different place. Last time you were in tears, snot coming out the nose, the ugly cry, the whole thing. And now it's different, Mom. Do you notice the difference that she's really kind of saying, this is it?
She's still sad.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I think she's building a wall because that's all she can do from keeping herself from crying. I was the one that was there on Thanksgiving when we came home, and she bawled her eyes out laying in my lap. And I said, you know, call your mom. Call her, you love her, call her. And they talked, and I don't think much came out of it. Christmas, once again, she was bawling. Her sister and brother are at the mom's house, and, you know, I said, go over there. I said, you want to be there. You know, go over there. Spend time with your mom. I don't mind, I'll stay at home. And she said, no, they don't accept this, and therefore I'm not going. And she says she's over it. She's not.
She's not. Now, Michael, you did the wedding video, but you haven't shared
yes.
it.
Yes.
You haven't shared it? You have it in your
Well, we
possession?
haven't seen Juliana since the last time we were on your show.
Is that the reason? Have you requested it from him?
I asked my mom to ask him if we could see it or have a copy of it, and they never got back to me on
Oh,
it.
here's a copy of it right now.
Thank you.
We're actually seeing this for the first time on TV.
Really? So how does it feel to see your wedding for the first time on TV like this?
Good.
It's awesome. I mean, I'm just glad that we finally have a copy. It's best day of my life.
What state did you guys get married in?
California.
Okay, so you did right before Prop 8.
Right before.
It was in the midst of it. I mean, honestly, it was the best day of my life, and there was so many emotions going on both sides, and it was wonderful to have 60 people that loved and supported us there. And
So are you
Straight and gay.
legally recognized or not?
legally
We're
recognized.
Because you did right before
Oh yes,
it happened.
she's changed her last name, her social security card, driver's license, W-2. We're married.
So Mom, they're married. She took Lindsay's last name,
I know.
and she's saying that it's
Well,
either the
I have
relationship
a-
that you accept or there's no relationship with you. We'll find out what you have to say about that. We'll be right back. I'm back with Juliana and Lindsay. They are a lesbian couple that have recently been married, and they have been in the show in the past, and this is them back again. We also have Leah and Michael here, who's Juliana's mother and stepfather, who went to the wedding, but oppose it, but did go. But now what we're facing is you possibly losing your daughter and not having a relationship with her. How do you feel about that?
I won't accept that.
You won't accept that?
No. She is my daughter. You're my daughter. I love you. You know that.
No.
Okay? I accept Lindsay as a person. Okay? I love her as a person. I care about her. I want what's best for her. I want her to be, I do, Lindsay.
But you don't ever even acknowledge me. I mean, even at the wedding, you didn't even talk to
Okay,
me.
you have to understand where I was coming from. That was hard for me. That was hard to watch Julie go down the aisle like that in her gown. Can you understand that? I just want to come
I
to
know it's hard for you, but
we have to come to a compromise. I want
what's
you
the-
guys to come over.
Really, Mom?
Didn't invite us.
But you made
We
a
had an
promise.
agreement. Remember,
Oh,
you said you were going to come over as a family and talk to us as a family unit so we can kind of work some of these things out. And then we would work from there. And you made a promise right after the show. You said it, and then you never
Outside
followed
the
up on
studio,
it.
last time you said, I promise I'll come over and visit with you guys. And I waited.
with
and he
or
waited.
without me.
But at first, you have to understand, we wanted to just visit with her, just to
Work some things through.
respect.
Like what,
to-
though?
Just talk
not-
it over
just
and,
not really work
and see
anything
what
out.
we could work with what we have.
To break this ice and come to some kind of resolution where we can be in each other's lives.
Why not meet with your mom on one-on-one first, and then
One-on-one.
Yeah.
then. Just me and her.
Yeah, one-on-one. You're saying not Michael, just
Oh,
mom
so
and
you
daughter.
have something against?
No, but then
Talking
we
with-
can work towards that. Like, why?
Oh,
this isn't.
That's interesting.
This is me and my mom. This is,
He wants
This-
to be a part of it.
and so does she. Like, what difference does
Yeah.
it make?
What makes you more than me?
So let's get some compromises here, okay? I'm not a
Because-
mediator. I don't have a license in any of this, but I'm gonna try to freestyle right now. Okay, so Juliana, would you be willing to just meet one-on-one with Mom?
I've
Yes.
always been willing.
Mom, can you leave Michael out of the picture just for these initial meetings so that it's just mom and daughter?
If it means
I'm okay with it.
You're okay with it?
Yeah, I'm okay.
So then mom's okay with it. Okay. So Lindsay, I know you're okay with that.
You know what? I want them to have a relationship, and you know, when the day comes when they're ready to put that bridge up, I'll meet them halfway.
Okay, so that's step one, meetings with mom and daughter. Step two, you're coming into those meetings, okay?
I've
Is
never
that
stepped
good,
foot
Mom?
in their house.
Well,
the day
you
they
are gonna
invite
get
me,
a
I'll
house
come.
tour, child, like extreme home makeover. Here's
I
the
would-
kitchen.
You know what? I would love that. I would
Okay.
love that.
Okay, is that good, Mom? For her to come in? Okay, is it okay if Michael's there?
That's
Yeah,
fine
of
with me.
course.
But you know what? I would like to get to know them.
Yes.
I mean, I don't have a problem. I would like to, get to know them as people and let them get to know me. I mean, that's ultimately what we want. I mean, I would love her to have a relationship. She misses them so much, and I feel bad. I would love for us all to get a chance to know each other as people, not me being just that girl or that lesbian that corrupted their daughter. I want to be acknowledged as a person.
It'd be cool if we could all hang out together. Like, we're not gonna like flash our relationship. We're not gonna like do anything weird. Like, I wouldn't want like to see any straight couple making out in front of me. Like PDA. It's, so I wouldn't do that to anybody else. Like, I just want to hang out as a family. Like, like Michael, I love you. It's like.
Okay, so Mom,
know?
we're talking about in the house, private first meetings, private. And now Juliana is saying, I want to go out in public as a family. Can you handle that?
Yes.
Yeah?
I think
Can
they
handle
can
being in Red Lobster in the restaurant?
I think
and
they
they're
can handle
kinda-
that better than being at the house,
Yeah?
actually.
All right. Well, we've got this solved, and hopefully you guys will have a really nice and beautiful future as a family. As a family in the new millennium, things are changing. Back in the day, even a stepfather was like, oh, right? Things are changing. When we come back, we're going to talk about something that a lot of people are saying, that gay is the new black, meaning the new thing that everybody is discriminating against as a whole. We'll be right back. How do you feel about same-sex marriage? Log on to tyrashow.com after the show and let us know what you think. Now, Sam Harris shot to stardom because of his amazing singing voice. But these days, it's his strong words about gay marriage that have him back in the spotlight.
California, the most progressive state in this country, voted to pass a law which makes me and my family and my child second-class citizens.
As an openly gay parent and a multi-talented performer, Sam Harris uses his star power to entertain and educate.
I sense no prejudice at all, and yet clearly I'm surrounded by it.
But now, the 30-year career that started when Sam was crowned the grand champion of Star Search is in danger of being overshadowed by the outcry over his passionate opinions on Proposition 8.
It's the first time in California history that the Constitution will be amended to actually discriminate and take away rights that had been granted to all people and to the gay community specifically.
According to Sam, black voters should have helped defeat Proposition 8.
The black community was probably the group that actually put this over and made this win. This is a civil rights issue. This is your issue. And here we are, have elected this progressive, incredible man who happens to be black. I'm sorry this has tainted the victory of Barack Obama, but I feel betrayed.
Sam's opinions have sparked an outrage on the internet, but Sam is not backing down.
What happens in California is often followed in the United States. It is simply discrimination. This is wrong. It is wrong.
So Sam, you say you feel wronged by the black community and betrayed. Talk about that some more. Explain that.
Right after the election, we were told that the black community, the majority of the black community voted for Proposition 8.
Mm-hmm. And explain what Proposition 8
is okay, what happened is in California, gay people were given the right to marry. The Supreme Court decided that it was unconstitutional for all people to not have the right to marry. Well, so then some religious groups came in and said, all right, well then let's change the Constitution. So they came in and created Proposition 8, which amended the Constitution to prohibit, to ban gay marriage.
Yes. And voting yes on Proposition 8 means?
Voting against me.
Yes, okay. So now talk about the black community with Prop 8.
Well, I was, initially, we were told that the black community, that the majority of the black community voted to ban same-sex marriage for Proposition 8. Since then, I have learned that that is not necessarily true. Those polls, the polls now suggest that in the same way that very religious people voted for Proposition 8, the same thing was true in the black community. When I said I felt betrayed in that moment, is because the black community, they're my people. And if you've heard me sing. And, but also, this is a civil rights issue. This is not a gay issue. This is a human rights issue. And who better should understand that than the black community? I have since learned that that is not true. The black community is not for this any more than anyone else is. But it was disconcerting.
Why do you think they're not?
I'm
talking about majorities. I'm talking about people that voted. I don't mean all black people.
Right.
Let's talk about the people that voted. Why voted not in your favor? Yes, for it.
I think there were several things. I think some of the churches really pushed this. I think that it's a little antiquated. I think that also, boy, man, I heard some stories. I know from a friend firsthand that there were some robocalls made.
What's a robocall?
A robocall, you know, where those calls you get on your answering machine right before the elections when they're calling to tell you how to vote, right? Robotic calls.
Oh, got it.
Right? Well, they had taken Barack Obama's voice, who, by the way, came out against Proposition 8. And sampled and retooled that voice to suggest that he was supporting it.
Oh, wow. And then they mass called people with that?
They mass called people and targeted the black community.
Wow. Okay, tell me about your family, about your family now.
My family, my partner Danny and I, are married. We have been together for nearly 14 years. That's our baby boy.
Okay, so you're married, like legally married?
Yeah.
Okay, so because you did it before proposition.
We did it before.
You did it before the, he's adorable.
He's beautiful, that's
yeah.
true.
Big, beautiful eyes. So you got married before it was overturned?
We got married, yes, just before it was overturned.
Okay.
And they cannot revoke it. So far, they cannot revoke our marriage.
Okay.
And we got married for our child. You know, I don't need the law, after being together so long, I don't need the law to validate my relationship. But for our child and for the rights that come with the word marriage, there are 1,100 some odd rights that come with the legal word marriage that I am entitled to as a tax-paying citizen of this country and for my child.
What worries you the most for same-sex couples that cannot get married when it comes to the law?
There are so many.
Name some that just you can
Well,
educate
there are
people.
rights, you know, for instance, like if your spouse is in the hospital, you know, the law says that blood relative is the one who makes those decisions. It doesn't. If the marriage is not recognized, that means your partner. You may have spent your entire life with that person, and they can't come in there and provide care or make decisions about. You know, there are insurance reasons. There are travel issues. You know, we have a child. There's so many things that if the law does not recognize this as a couple, do not create equal rights.
Well, there's a lot of people that do not agree with Sam, and we're going to hear from them as well as people that support what Sam has to say when we come back. We'll be right back.
Community may inspire this change, but this is a civil rights issue. This is your issue. It wasn't just black people that took to the streets to demand equal rights. It was white people and white legislation and white politicians. And it's not going to be gay people that change this. It's going to be straight people that change this because it is wrong, because it is injustice, because it is unfair. It is civil rights. It is unconstitutional.
Sam Harris is just one of the millions of gay and straight people who are outraged about California's decision to outlaw gay marriage with Proposition 8. Because they feel it's a terrible blow to gay civil rights. Joining Sam are fellow gay rights proponents Kathy Middleton Lewis and Charlene Strong. And on the opposite side of the gay rights debate are Dr. Bill Meyer, Sandy Rios, and Karen Mitchell. Now, Sam, you were very emotional in that tape, crying almost.
Yes. It's very personal.
Yeah, I'm sure. If I was talking about some black rights in the 60s, I'd be like, come on, people. And I would be very emotional as well, so I understand. But I have to ask you, I know a lot of people are thinking this. Is it truly fair to compare the plight of gay people with the plight of black people?
As a white man, I cannot pretend to know what it's like for a black person, what their definition of civil rights is. I don't know what that struggle is. I do know that the definition of civil rights, the word civil rights, is about equal rights for all, regardless of gender, sexual orientation, race, religion. And Barack Obama himself has defined this as a civil rights issue. So if he can say it's civil rights, then I can say it's civil rights.
Okay. I want to go to you, Kathy, as a supporter. I know The Advocate, the gay magazine The Advocate, had a very, very controversial cover called Gay is the New Black. As a black woman, do you feel that gay is the new black?
As both a black woman and as an attorney, I feel that gay is the new black. When you think about this issue, the reality is that you have a minority group that's being denied equal protection under the law for no other reason than because they're different. And in this nation, you had laws on the records that stated that African Americans were denied the right to marry who they wanted to marry at one point in time. And now we have laws that state the same for the homosexual community. This is wrong, it's unconstitutional, and it must change.
And I have to ask Sandy. Sandy, do you think that it's fair to compare gay rights to black plight?
No, I think it's apples to oranges. It's like the old intelligence test. This is to this. There are some similarities, I grant you that. But you can stop being gay. You cannot stop being black.
Okay, who in our gay community wants to address that? You stand on up. What's your name?
Tyra.
I'm Ian.
Ian, what do you have to say to that?
I had a mother who told me that she would not pay for my prom ticket if I did not go with a woman. And I would not go with a woman because I would not do that. It's not something that I can change. If I could change it, I would love to.
Well,
it would have been years of easier life if I could have changed it.
Have you seen the movie? as a fully heterosexual female, I can tell you how difficult it is not to have sex, too. So I understand that dilemma.
So you're suggesting celibacy is the answer for gay?
As opposed to acting out on homosexuality or adultery or pedophilia.
Charlene,
yes.
what do you have to say? Charlene?
It always amazes me that people who are not gay can tell me that that's a choice. Ma'am, I'm not sure that there's ever going to be a time in someone's life when they say, hey, you know, I think I'm going to wake up this morning and be discriminated against. I think I'm going to put on and have people walk down the street and call me derogatory comments. You don't know. You are not gay.
No,
so please
I'm not
don't
gay.
speak
And
of
I
something
think
that you're
that's
not.
true, and that's why the
you
name...
are not,
the
you are
name,
not correct, ma'am.
That's why. I want to go to Karen because I know Karen sent a very passionate email about the opposition to gay rights. Why don't you tell me about how you feel about this in terms of the black community?
I don't think you have a right to be discriminated against as far as being physically harmed because of the way you are, but I totally disagree with the fact that it's not a choice.
People like
every day, people have. You're right. You know what? I couldn't choose my color or my skin.
I think I'm going to be gay. I have struggled with it my whole life.
You know what? Everybody has. Everybody has
Honey,
a choice in my
shoes. Did you choose to be straight?
Walk in my shoes a day.
You chose to be straight.
I'm supposed to be straight.
Did you go through that moment of, wow, I wonder if, whoa, you're supposed to be straight?
I think that one of the biggest problems that opponents of gay marriage have is that they always look to the Bible in terms of justifying their beliefs.
Absolutely.
The bottom line is that the Bible says a whole lot of things about how people should and should not live their lives. The question is whether or not that book is relevant to the way we live in the 21st century. If we listen to the Bible, Tyra, if we listen to the Bible on every single issue, the Bible says that if your right eye offend you, pluck it out. If your left hand offend you, pluck it out. If we follow that precept to the letter, we'd be walking around as a nation of people with one eye and one arm. I mean, it gets to be preposterous after a while.
Same-sex couples have the right to marry. We're hearing from people on both sides of the argument. Okay, Sandy, what do you have to say?
Well, I'm absolutely proud to claim the Bible as God's word and authority. But I would just say this, all truth is God's truth. The case against homosexual behavior can be made absent of the scriptures, and I'm happy to do that. I would just say what she just described, Charlene, is it? When you talk about discrimination and the misery of being a lesbian, that's what I thought I heard you say.
There is no misery.
Gay, right up front, is the wrong name for that. It is. It's broken hearts. It's disease. It is an unnatural...
Excuse me.
You guys don't struggle with disease. I know better. I know the stats.
Oh, my God.
Brian, what do you have to say about what they just said?
I don't know how you can look at me, and it's not about being married. Until our government treats us equally, you have an excuse to discriminate against me. 5 years ago, my father beat me up for being gay, tried to beat the gay out of me because it's God's word, and he used the Bible to justify hitting me.
Well, it's not in the Bible.
No, stop. Then, right before, stop. Walking down the street. Do you think I woke up and wanted to be gay? Walking down the street, I get people call me faggot. I got gay bashed. I had to spend my birthday in the hospital. I didn't have any family. I didn't have anyone.
You know what?
I didn't have anyone there because they used the Bible as an excuse.
Well,
and so I had to go through that all by myself. And so how dare you? How dare you just hate me like that? You are not a Christian. You hate me. And that is not a Christian.
One thing I do respect everybody for their beliefs. You know, I respect this side, I respect this side. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But one thing that is important to me is realizing pain in a human being. And whatever you believe, whether you don't approve of what somebody, how they live their life, to me, what hurts is the lack of empathy for pain. Not gay, not straight, but pain. And Sandy, when I was looking at you and seeing this young man in pain, I didn't feel
That's because I see emotional and mental instability. That is what I see. And I'm not saying that it's right that his father hurt him. They don't deserve to, nobody has a right to put their hands on them because of the way they choose to be. However, his way of lifestyle is a lifestyle that he has chosen.
I need to talk about the celebration of my life.
Talk about it.
All right? A lot of us, I grew up in the Bible Belt in the South. I grew up among a bunch of people that didn't understand me. That is not, I have the most inclusive, loving, embracing family, and my in-laws are embracing as well. I have this beautiful partner, my husband, who we've been together 14 years. I have this extraordinarily incredible child who is the center of my life. My life is not pain. My life is not misery.
If it's not, then
let me finish.
Why not stay unmarried?
My life
you don't need
is
marriage
a celebration.
If you're so happy.
Okay, ma'am, the word marriage is the issue here.
It's a holy
let me
matrimony.
Finish.
It is a holy matrimony.
Right, and if it's a holy, let me finish my statement. If this is if marriage is the word issue, then it should not be in the government, because church and state are separate in this country.
Sure.
If marriage is the issue, it should not be in the government. If marriage is a religious issue, it shouldn't be in the government. And if it's a government issue, it shouldn't be influenced by religion.
For 200 years, our foundations, we have functioned as marriage as part of our law. It's part of the way we do business. It's the part of the way we make contracts. It has been a part of our law. Now, suddenly we're smarter. It shouldn't be part of government. It shouldn't be part of the foundation.
Ma'am, that's called evolution. Wait a minute.
Oh, no. Well, evolution like that, we can live without.
The government condones slavery. The government was against interracial marriage. As we move forward as a society, yes, we get
slavery to being gay. You cannot.
Right.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
You can't, because you're not being hung from trees because you're gay.
This is
Okay, let's talk to Charlene.
Charlene? This is not, and I want to make this perfectly clear. We can sit here all day and talk about the Bible. We can quote the Bible.
You guys brought the Bible up. We didn't.
There are so many things that we can talk about. Please excuse me, I'm speaking.
I know, but
there are so many things that we can talk about. You have everyone in here sitting there with straight. We have the orange group. We have gay. And here's my question to you. We are all Americans. This is about equality.
I just want to let everybody know the orange group is a straight group, but we ran out of straight T-shirts. We'll be right back. How do you feel about same-sex marriage or same-sex adoption? Go to TyraShow.com and share your thoughts. And while you're there, you can check out Sam Harris's single, Change is on the Way. It's from his album, Free. And I want to thank everybody for their very strong opinions. And I know you've created a lot of TyraShow.com debate. We'll see you later.